TikTok tonight. We're going to be drawing this a Farmall H tractor, a special one. It's got a Tokheim cab on it. I'll show you the original picture here. If you're watching on YouTube, that's the original right in there. And that's the original cab that was installed on this tractor when it was brand new. Would have been mid 40s, I think, during World War II. They said the guy who sent this to me is the original family of this tractor. Still owns the tractor, still uses it on the farm from time to time. It's hooked to a baler here in this picture, and they said that they got the original documentation. There's a warning that came with it to not use it in direct sunlight, or not to store it in direct sunlight outdoors, because it would actually weaken the rubber, because it was wartime rubber. It was not very strong. So anyway, we're starting this live here. Let's go ahead and start looking at what we got so far. I got the outline done. And if you're watching this on TikTok and I'm not responding to your messages directly, well, go over to YouTube. That's where I'm streaming this primarily. So I'm going to be interacting a little bit with both streams, but for the most part, I'm going to be interacting on the YouTube side. Going ahead and putting down a piece of notebook paper, just normal notebook paper with some tape on the top, just to hold it in place so that I don't completely screw everything up with my hand. So here we're starting. So I'm just finding the dark spots like I normally do. I either find the darkest or the lightest spots, and I just start from there. And I'm just trying to go through here and see what we can find that is of similar shade. I'm just filling it in. I'm going to try to move this light a little bit. It looks good on camera. Man, it's blinding me here. So now I think we're good. Alright, so once again, finding the darkest, finding the lightest. I see kind of a dark spot in here on the picture. I'm just going to fill her in pretty dark. And then we'll find the midtones here in a minute. But for right now, I just want to find what's the darkest, what's the lightest. And go from there. That's the darkest. In the center here, right, where this center of this wheel weight, we've got pretty dark area. No lights hitting in there. So make sure I kind of exaggerate that. Make it black. As dark black as we get it on here. Need to figure out better lighting setup that looks good on camera and I can see. Right now this isn't great. Alright, so we've got the center of the wheel weight covered in there. Now notice the bottom of the wheel weight. Let's move this over a little bit so I can see the whole wheel weight at least. Just focus on the center of the wheel and the wheel weight for now. I'm noticing the front of this is pretty dark, so I'm just going to find where the wheel weight is. Right, there it is. And we're going to make that dark. There's no light hitting down here. The sun's coming from over top somewhere. This one looks like it was taken around noon. All the light's coming straight down on it. At least that's what I'm seeing so far. We'll go from there. Get a few things on the feed here quick. I'll be right back. There we go. Alright. Back. I've only seen one of these tractors in person, and it was nowhere near good shape as what this one was. So I was happy when the guy sent me this one. He said, hey, can you draw this? And I'm like, I'll take a look at it. I looked at it. Sure enough, it worked. If you hear snoring, my dog is sleeping underneath my desk. And he's actually snoring pretty loud right now. Oh man, it's a big day for my dogs. And one of them had surgery 2 weeks ago, and he made a pretty good recovery so far. He had his staples taken out today, which is a good thing. And these new harnesses that we can use. My dogs have a bad habit of pulling on leashes, so we got these harnesses that are actually really good for that. Dogs seem to really like them, so that's good too. Alright. More likes can attract views. Keep it up. Well, give me some likes. Get these likes going. Double tap that screen. Keep them going. I'm trying to get my name out there, y'all. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? Just help me out a little bit. Help a brother out. Alright. Now I'm noticing here the bottom of this actually darkness as it goes, so I'm just going to put the dark spots in. I'm going to grab my white pencil on right here. Clear that off a little bit. And just put a little bit of lightness on the top of there. Notice right around the edge. It's hitting up here pretty good, so I'm just going to exaggerate that a little bit. Right in here, it's hitting pretty good. And I think at the bottom of this, it's hitting okay. Not pretty good. All right, now let's fill in this rim. Pencil down for a minute, charcoal pencil. What I'm using a 6B charcoal pencil when I work with the charcoal. Right now I've got a white pastel chalk pencil. Does a really good job. I like these white pastels because they will color over top of charcoal if I make a mistake or if I need to lighten something even more. You got to be careful when you get your pastel pencils, your chalk pencils. Sometimes they just don't work very good. But these general pastel, so 4414 pastel pencil does a great job coloring over top of other things. So I enjoy working with them, and I think they enjoy working with me. I'm just kidding. They're pencils. They don't have emotions or feelings. So dumb. Alright, trace that out. Seeing in here there's a little bit of a shadow or a light spot. I'm going to just exaggerate that a little bit. I'm seeing in here is a little bit of light. Alright, now I'm actually going to be different. So I'm going to get a 2B pencil. The others I've been using is 6B, only the 2B. Just I don't want quite as dark. So I'm going to press even less with it, but I'm also using a lighter pencil. So here there's just a little bit of shadow in there. Not much, just a little. And down on the weight itself, I'm seeing a little darker. It's pretty bright out front, so we'll put some white over top of this and make it a little bit even. Alright, just some white over top of it. Blend them together and see what we get. One of my favorite things are all those weights. They always turn out pretty good. As I've said, this one turned out terrible because that's how it works, right? But they normally turn out pretty good. So we're going to try see what she does. All right, back to the black. All right. Got here. A little bit like that. There we go. Cool. All right. Love your drawings. Thank you so much. If you like my stuff, go over to YouTube. Give me a subscribe over there. I could really use it right now. I'm trying to grow that. I'm live over there now, and you got the top-down views. Go check it out. All right. I'm seeing at the top of this tire has a little bit of color to it, and I'm seeing a little bit in here, like so. Trying to find the edges of these. There we go. This is that 2B pencil. I don't want 2B pencil here. I want the 6B. Make that pretty dark. It's a tire. The tire should be dark. I'm not going too far forward yet because I haven't done much up there. Just trying to find where it's at through here. Now I've already done the white here. I'm coloring over top of that white, which is fine. It's going to be lighter here, but I'm going to put some dark over it first, and then I'll refine it in white. And that'll just give us a kind of a gray color instead of the white, which is what I'm going for right here. Alright, that looks good. I'm seeing around. Alright, let's move this forward a little bit. I want to hit the side of this tire all at once. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright. Up here on top, from this bar, away from the sun. She's dark. Same thing up here. Right above this bar. On top of that. Down here. I'm not too worried about like crazy detail yet. I'm just trying to get some basic colors in here that we'll work with the rest of it. That's all I'm going for at the moment. The details will come later. Going for the dark, going for the light, fill in the middle. That's how it works. Okay, now I'm starting to notice down through here, this is all just dark. Right, everything down here, kind of below this line, is going to just have a few bars sticking out, but for the most part, it's dark. So, just putting everybody always compliments me on how much detail I put into my stuff, and I say this repetitively. You'll get tired of hearing me say it eventually. It's not about detail. It's about the lack of detail. Just figuring out what detail you need to add to let the eyes do the rest and figure out if it's there or not. Your eyes will play tricks on you. If you put the wrong detail in, it'll stand out and be like, that's wrong. But if you put just the right detail in, your eyes won't know the difference. I'm tricky every time. Look closely at my drawings. There's not a lot of detail there. There's really not. I'm seeing some people joining over on YouTube. Thanks for coming over there. It's a slower platform for me. It always has been. We're just getting started over there. Still trying to find a way around a bit. Appreciate those folks who have given me time to work with it and figure it out. Finding these bars here, and I'm making them white. Way over a little bit here with a darker color. That's what we're going to have. So just on the appearance of detail once again. What's right here? This is something screwy, I see. I don't know what it is. I don't think that's supposed to be the dark. I think I can get away with it. Just do that. Alright. Filling in some gray on top of this. And all these down here is going to get just a line of gray over to blend better. And we're pretty close. Let's take a look here. Stand back a second. Take a look. See what I've missed. Just finding it. There's a few extra little white spots up here. I'm just filling in for the illusion of a tire. Grab my blending stump here. I love these blending stumps. These things are just amazing how they work. Starting on my center axle. Move out to the center of the wheel weight. Lower the axle a little bit so that we lose some of the detail. That's what we're going for. Start blending my wheel weight in. And it starts getting faster here at this point. At this point, we're just trying to find what I drew and go from there. We'll just tab these sections that I didn't blend. Because if I don't tap them, like smudge out just a little, they'll themselves out. I'd rather smudge them the way I want to smudge them instead of letting them find their way out. You know what I mean? Alright. Start at the top of the wheel. Pretty dark there. Move down the wheel. We're going to drag some of the dark over to the gray. What that does is it gives it a gray tone, which is what we're going for. I think I'm going to have to come back in here with a little bit extra white. We'll see how she does in a minute. Hit this tire here quick. Just going around the tire trying to find what we did without screwing it up. That's all we do. Alright. Alright, when I get to the bars of the tire, I follow the bars. Alright. Do the bars first. Both sides. And just smudge. Trust what you got there, and it comes out. It really does. And you come in the middle and start working those sections between the bars. Alright. These areas we put in white underneath. Can't see it until it blends, and next thing you know, we've got gray there that wasn't there. So that's what I always try to do. So if you're joining me this Monday night, thanks for joining me. I know you got a lot of options on YouTube otherwise. Appreciate you taking the time to spend at least a minute or two with me here watching. And do me a favor, find me on YouTube if you're on TikTok, and give me a subscribe. And if you're on YouTube or watching this, give me a subscribe. And let me know in the comments where you're from. And tell me your favorite thing I've drawn so far, if you would. I like to hear feedback. It's nice to hear you're doing something all right. So thanks for that, y'all. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see how she looks. Hang back here a second. Let's take a look. I think that's a pretty good looking tire. Let's move it over here so it's centered up a little bit. Alright, that's a good looking tire. Alright, let's move this over a little bit. Now this got that funny looking cap on it. Never drawn one of these before. Don't really know how to draw one of these. But it's like anything, you just find the dark spots, find light spots, and let it draw itself. Don't waste too much time figuring out where you're at. Just fill in. See, that's kind of the darkest spot. There's a white streak just hitting the reflection here. See, that's some of that World War II cheap rubber they were talking about right here. As I said earlier on screen, the guy who sent me this picture said that the original, he has the original receipt for it, original documentation paperwork for it, and it said not to get a store outdoors because of the cheap quality of the World War II rubber. They didn't think it would hold up. And here it is, what, 80 or more years later, still holding up. It's Still better quality stuff than we get today. It'll make them like this anymore, I'll tell you that. These were made to last, that's for sure. Alright, so there's that shadow in there. Looking at this light, it's pretty dark right around the light. Ironic, huh? The light is dark. That down there. Okay. Find the rest of this light. Where you at, rest of the light? It's in there. Just have to draw it and trust it's there. Fill it in there. We'll see what she becomes here in a minute. I'm not sure yet what she's going to become. Down here, I'm going to get that ladder 2B pencil. So I'll push it across here. We'll do the same over here. Okay. Now this section down here is like a cloth material. It's got a little bit of a wave to it, so I'm trying to keep that wave intact. Go across and just find the edges of this. It goes all the way up to here. From what I can see, there's a little bit of a color in here. It's a little bit of gray. We'll find her. See what she does. See in here, there's a bar that I missed. Just put that bar in there for now. Nice thing with these pencils, if you mess them up, most time you can come back over it if you stay kind of light. I like to stay a little bit light, but probably not light as I should. Right. Putting the white pretty heavy over top of this gray that was there. I want it to be much lighter than the rest of this. Down here, it's going to be gray. It's pretty much the same shade all the way across this piece, so I don't have to worry too much about like changing my tones or whatnot. This is really cool. Can I ask you a huge favor? Can you put my name into the paper, on the paper if possible? What's your name? Official Lord Death? No, I'm not putting that on there. Try to. Oh man. I like some crazy names on TikTok. Definitely crazy names. I should start offering to put people's names on stuff if they donate to me, but I'm not asking for money, so that would be dumb. Okay. Fill this in just a little with some white. And I'm going to go back over it again with some gray. I just want some layers so that when I start blending it, it's got a lot to roll around in there and figure out what color it's going to be. Alright. Just a little bit up here, not as much. And I'm going to go back over with some white on this. I want this top to be like bright. She's going to shine in the sun, even though she's not supposed to be in the sun. Because she's from World War II. They told you not to put her in the sun. Alright, there's that. Find my blending stump. Now I'm going to clean off my blending stump a little bit here, because I don't want her to be just using some sandpaper, cleaning her off a little bit. I want her to be gray, not white, not black. Start at the top. Put a little bit of rounded shading to it. Same with this. And come on down. Just like the Price is Right. I'm going to hit this next because it's got those light colors in it. I want to keep it light as I go. So hopefully this will look like a wavy piece right here when I'm done. You do a 96 Ram 1500 single cab? Probably not. Pickup trucks really aren't my thing. I'm not very good at them. I've done a few. 96 Ram's not old enough to be classic. It's probably special meaning to you, but it means nothing to me, so I probably won't do all that. These cabs look like the tractors from Cars movie, I think. Yeah, I think that's where they got the idea for the movie from. So, to make glass, I normally just do a quick shimmy across with some gray on there and keep some streaks. That's what I normally do. So that's what we're going to do day 2. It seems like that works. So, there we go. Got that done. Let's move over to the front of the cab. Front of the cab is more the same. I like that blend that I got on there. I'm going to try to do that same thing again because it turned out pretty good. Just put some base down with a little bit of dark in the middle and then cover up with white. We drilling right now. It's Farmall H with a Tokheim cab. Original from factory. They said it was delivered to the dealer. The dealer installed this cab and sold it original, brand new. With this cab, they had the receipts to match. I thought that was cool enough that it deserved the draw. Third generation tractor on the same farm, same family. Just pretty cool. I've seen a lot of those recently. You know, the tractor he bought it new. That's pretty cool to see. I did one where it was my grandfather's tractor. It's a Farmall B, first tractor he ever owned. Him and my great grandfather bought it together. Since then, I've seen a lot of people posting some pretty cool stuff. That, and I enjoy looking at it. So this, yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen one quite like this, in this good shape. I've only seen one in person. It wasn't nowhere as good a shape. So, drawing tractors. She ain't figured it out. Noticing there's just a big old shadow here underneath this brim of the hat, we'll call it. That's what it looks like. All right, now here, a little bit of color in there, and oddly enough, it looks like this steering wheel is going to show up white in here, like really white. So, put the steering wheel in, and how do I get that to not look like garbage? That's the real question. What I got to make it look all right, but not look like garbage. That's the. Yeah. I'm going to blend what I got. Starting into black. I've got a black end of the blending stump. I haven't really used on anything white, keeping it dark. Blend her down so that she's smooth. You don't have to worry about too much here. It's just finding where it's smooth. So there it is. It's smooth. Alright. I'm going to come back with the other end of the stump. I've already got a little bit of white worked into that. So she's going to do a pretty good job graying out things. I'm going to try to go over top of my steering wheel. And then we'll see what I do with this. This is just more glass. So let's make it look like glass. There it is. Glass. Great. Alright. Down here, I'm just going to fill this in with what I got on the blending stump, because that's going to be about the same color. And kind of the same over here. And I just at the top of that, I want one little black line below it. I see it there. Alright. Now I'm going to take my stump and go straight across that black line. Smudge it out so it doesn't smudge itself, essentially is what I'm doing there. Alright. What else did I miss? Anything? So far, so good. Looking at the light red, well, got it. Once again, black circle. And the red down there. The white there. And a little bit of white highlighted back side. Find our blend. Run it down the center. Down the bracket. Done. Gotta go. Just want to stop and say hi. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So they say if you schedule a YouTube live video, you'll get better views. I've not found that to be true. Not to be the opposite. I get more views if I just go live. It seems like sometimes. Surprise YouTube. I'm still learning that platform. And that's all right. All right. It's all more of that flexible rubber stuff. Trying to find the right color to find the blends. So here, this is gray. So I'm going to start on where it's gray. Move up to more white. I'm just going to put less pressure when I do that. And it'll keep the white, at least a little bit white. And blend as we go. Okay. Now that I've done that once, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit this edge here a little bit. And then we'll go across that. You see a little bit of separation. Same back here. A little wider. No, I think should work. There's that. And then I get a better point. I get this pencil. Go up around the bottom and up the side a little bit. We're going to do the same thing. And I'll get my stump. Perfect. Not perfect, but good enough. Good enough. I don't know how this thing will look. I'll be honest with you. Every time I do one of these drawings that's new, something completely different that I've never done before, I get nervous about here on the drawing. Mostly because it doesn't look very good yet. And some of these take the last stroke of the pencil before it actually looks good. It makes me nervous the whole way there. Now watch, I fail. I ain't gonna take down this to him too. They say he's a failed one. Okay. Volvo BM. No, this is a Farmall H. Amazing how many people ask me other things and not giving up to what they're talking about. They'll just be like, come on one of my videos and be like, friend, you say this person did that, they did not. They're just coming about any contact, be like, name off the thing. I'm like, am I supposed to guess it? You want me to draw it, or what do you want from me? Can you please try to give me at least the attempt of some sentences? I'm not that fancy of a person, but I would appreciate just, attempted complete sentences. Yeah. Alright. Same thing on this side, just finding where we're at, filling her in. I'll be amazed every time that it actually turns out, and then I act like I'm surprised. I'm surprised. People think that's like an act. I'm like, oh wow, it actually worked. But sometimes I'm like actually truly surprised that things work. So you ever hear me say that on here more than likely, I just laugh at myself. Okay, there's that. Alright, that's done. The rest should be pretty easy because it's just Farmall H. I've done Farmall, so there's so far for the folks on you. This is what we're drawing. We're back. There's that. And we're back. Alright. Let's see what else I can find in to draw. I'm gonna get dark pencil out and go sharper. I won't get sharp. I lost my pencil sharpener. Here she is. Alright, there we go. We're back. If you missed me for a second, I didn't do anything on YouTube. My computer does that from time to time. It just disconnected me for no apparent reason. Alright. Just adding a little bit of flair here. What's up, International Harvester? How you doing? Still not wearing that International Harvester hat. You disappointed in me. Alright, let's see what else I'm missing. In this section here is all just going to be that section. I think I need to put a little bit of a hint of something there. So, alright, find that pencil that we just sharpened and got sharp. Just coming around here. We're going to find, working in the shades right now. I'm going to cover over most of these lines in white. We'll come back later. We'll smudge them and they'll just peek through. And that's what gives the appearance of detail. Keep the end of the belt pulley separate. Everything under here is dark. That cab's blocking all the sunlight. That's just what we need to look at here. The cab's blocking the sunlight. Nothing to see under there. And same here. This goes all the way back to about here. Let's say he's opening as much as he can. There's some, like the holes where the spokes of the rims are. Trying to keep them a little bit open there. Nice on these tractors, the light shining straight down. I don't even have to really focus too much on the detail. All I gotta do is just put a few little streaks in there and then smudge around it, and it just works out for me. So it's pretty nice to be able to do that. Missed that line, didn't I? All right, we got it. Across. Boom, boom. All right. Now this goes all the way up into here. The shade. this, which is hard to believe, but it's all there. It seems like it goes up into the engine compartment too. But I ain't done anything with the engine compartment yet, so I should probably stay away from that for the moment. My blender out. Start it up a little. There she is. Oh, really popped out. It's there. It wasn't there a second ago. It's there. Blend into the. You see that line there that we put in a while ago? She showed through. Just trying to wash these a little bit. I want a little bit of gray paper shown through there if I can not forget. Let's see how I do. Sometimes I forget. And there's ways around that too. I've got erasers over here to work. I'm not too terribly worried about it. If we make that mistake, more than likely we're the only ones that make a mistake. That know that we made a mistake. Weird how that works, right? Okay. Shade the rest of that in a minute there. Let me see, once again, I put weight under there, and she's just peeking through. That's all I wanted to do. It's like, hey, I'm here. Not really. Just kind of peeking through. That's what we're going for. All right, I'm going to flip I've got a reference on here. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to move it down a little bit here too so I can see it all the way here. All right, top of the hood. It's going to be white. It's white all the way here. Where's that go? There's long ways. Get rid of that for a minute. All the way up. The V back there. Alright, and then we'll soften it, but it's got a tone here too, all the way down. Not as bright, but it's there. We all know it's there now. Alright, grab a pencil just to fill in just a little bit of shade on this thing. And then another one here at the bottom of that. And then a line, one up there. Alright, let's keep these separated as best we can. There's that one. There's that one. It's going to be bright up here, and darker as it goes. There's that one. We got the radiator cap. She's going to pop out there a little bit. Never seen a Farmall like that. It's a Tokheim cab. It was originally an aftermarket cab that was made when the tractor was new. This tractor was actually delivered from the dealer with this cab on it. And it's unique. That's why I decided to draw it. It's very unique. There's not a ton of them left. They were made in World War II, and the rubber, part of them, is very, very brittle, very fragile, and most of these honestly just didn't survive. That's why I draw this. This picture will survive a few more years, and people know it exists. The tractor's out there, and people look at it too. So, not a ton of them delivered with factory cabs. And actually, a car movie. This is what the tractors were based off of. If you ever seen it, you got the tractors that are called chew-all tractors, the Farmalls with Tokheim cabs. That's what the designers looked at when they were referencing this. Blend right here. This blend here is what makes or breaks these Farmalls. You gotta get it very white at the top, very light at the bottom. The smooth blend, which I think I've almost accomplished there. It's good enough. We may have to come back later and add a little bit, but pretty close. Air cleaner. No jar, no collector. Pre-filter collector. Interesting. I don't know if that's original or not. I don't necessarily think it is, but maybe it is. I'm honestly not sure. It's not really anything I've got a lot of experience with. I was always growing up around the M's. And a ton of M's, super M's, corners. Hi. Sometimes I'll over exaggerate the white and just to give it a shimmer, a shine. It really turns out good. It almost looks better and more realistic if you exaggerate the lights and the darks. So that's what I do sometimes. Grab my blender. Start at the top. Turn that white to gray. It'll be really gray over here. Some gray over there. Like that. There we go. Got a muffler. I like drawing straight pipes better than mufflers. Mostly because they're just two straight lines. There's a little between. So. Alright. There's that. Alright, working up through the engine compartment a little bit. I'm going to start in the engine compartment. This is the mud section right there. And, Alright, so we're too far into the engine compartment. We'll do some highlights. Same thing we did with the undercarriage. There's not much in here that really shines. We're going to pay close attention to this. This is going to shine pretty bright. We'll pay a little bit of attention to the top of the fan housing. Fans are out. She should be bright. Up here, there's a few light lines shining through. This line here. And this is all going to be like gray with some very faint stuff shining through. So I'm darkening it white, but she ain't going to stay white, I'll tell you that. How do we send pictures for him to draw? Typically, people be on Instagram. You send me a picture with a story what the tractor is. You got a better chance of drawing if you got a good story with the tractor. I'm not saying make up stories, don't do that, but you know, it's got to be more than this was my grandfather's tractor. I don't know your grandfather, cool enough, but you know the story's like, you know, this tractor was brand new on such and such farm in 1942, and my great grandfather so and so built this thing, you know, bought this thing new, had it delivered. Those type of stories actually go a lot further for me than this is my granddaddy's tractor. Give me some details with the stories. That'll get my attention. And I'm not saying I draw everybody's. I've got thousands of requests now. I've actually, the way I work it, I've got a folder in on my computer. And when I get done drawing what I've got outlined, I'll go to that folder and just see what I can find to draw. And if it's done, then I can draw it. But typically, I don't. Where's I going with that? Yeah, typically I'll store the drawings. I very rarely draw anything that I just found. Now there are exceptions. This farm I've had for a few weeks. I've got a very interesting piece that I drew the other night. It was a pulling tractor. Had a great story. I'm actually probably going to share that story here soon on TikTok World, and maybe on YouTube. We'll see. It's just a really good story that went with that picture. I drew that one. I've heard about it Thursday, and I drew it Friday. It's very rare for me. Most of the time, it's going to be a few weeks till I get to it. And, I don't pick anything that I'm going to draw up until when I put my pencil on paper. I've been even breaking that rule a little bit. I've done recently up to 3 drawing outlines a week, 4 this week, and then I draw the outline on Friday night or Saturday, and then I go and draw this over the next couple of days. Come in. So that's that. A long way to get around to saying what I was trying to say. All right, still seeing this thing through here, so I'm just trying to find where she's at in there. Go for that. Boom, there it is. All right, this is the fun and disturbing part at the same time. It's one of the toughest parts. This grill. It'll make or break the tractor really well. Got some lines in here. I don't ever actually put the logos of tractor. I very rarely do. It opens me up to lawsuit these manufacturers, and I'd rather not get sued by big manufacturer with expensive lawyers that I can't compete with. So very rarely will. That's all right. People know what it is most of the time by looking at it. That's risky enough for me. All right, going down through. Just put a light line below each one of these. I think she'll stay too white too long, but I just want the highlight come through. Now, I didn't draw these in, but I'm doing the same thing over here. Trying to find them all. I don't draw these front ones in because they get lost real easy. They never end up looking like I want them to. Alright, coming back, I'm going to get my dark pencil now. Sharpen it to a nice sharp point. Not sharp enough, I need to sharpen it. That's a little better. Alright, I'm going to come across right above the line. Talk to y'all in a second. See if there's any comments. I'm done. Alright, well, nobody has anything to do anyways. don't want much color, just a little bit of color. I want it to stay gray, so I don't want to get too mixed up in the whites. Down the center here, I'm going to put a strong line, because I think, at least on the ends, there's a breaking line there. It's got a little bubble between the two. I don't know if that's the same on H or not. I'm not too familiar with them, so. Down the center. Hit this side. And then I'm going to do a straight line all across these. And just smudged, I'll come back through and just kind of stay in a straight line style still. I want that breaking point there. Everything back here is going to be a bit darker. Close enough. She's there. Alright, so this continues down into this. No further. Okay. Cool. Front section here. She's got a heck of a reflection on her. I see her. See her right there. Alright. Cool. There's a hole there. There's a hole there. There's a reflection on a bolt here, it looks like. Next Bob Ross, sound like him. To be honest, great drawing, thanks. I've been told that multiple times. I sound like Bob Ross when I'm working, which is funny because everything slows down when I'm drawing. I listen back to it, I don't even recognize my voice because it's slowed down so much. So I mentioned before, my dog is sleeping underneath of my desk. He's moving around now and he's kicking my leg and messing up my pencil. So thanks for that, dog. Appreciate it very much. Alright, grab my blender again. We have some short strokes in there so I don't lose the. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to lose them anyway. Across here like that. I'm trying not to lose the bolts up underneath. I'm just going to blend into that a little bit. There's that. Alright. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, this one's a little bit different. There's not a ton of these tractors out in the world, so it's kind of cool to be able to show it off a little bit. So if I was doing this for a commission piece, I would go back across this from dark and light and everything fits dark and light. I'm not. This is just a for fun piece that I'm doing, so I'm not going to waste any time. Alright, last thing to do is the front tires. So I'm going to up a little bit on the drum, so see that a little bit. See that there. Alright. That's not what I want to do. Sharp. See if I can get this sharp. This one I broke multiple times. Yeah, I tried that time. Alright. Solid around this. Let's go down. Down there. Got my white lines here. Back on the tire. The tire ribs don't draw all three ribs unless they show up in the drawing. Most time, what I'm finding is the three ribs of the tire ribs don't all show up. You get like the middle rib and the outside of this rib, and that's about it. And the rest is just kind of in there, so that's what we're doing. Okay, we can do that. All right, top of this also got a huge reflection on it, and here's got a huge reflection on it, so we've done that. All right, I'm just gonna work on the tires now. I know everything under here, with the exception of that over there, is going to be without shade. Come down. I'm going to try to keep these whites exposed instead of the alternative. I missed a bar, a reflection here. Not actually like a bar. It's a reflection inside the tire actually. Fill that in. I'm going to keep those whites exposed a little bit. Alright. I'm also seeing here, there's, if you like, I'll lay at the top of this. On that. Back across like that. Back across like this. We'll do that in a minute. That's just what I'm getting down. There's that. Around the tire here, there's no lighting. Back rubber lighting. That's what she gets. She gets to be dark. Hey there. Just some people saying hello. How you doing? Hi. Looks great. Thanks. Paul's a goat farm. Glad you approve. This has been a fun one to draw. Everybody's been asking me to draw Farmall H. I think they're going to be disappointed when it's not like just a normal H, but it's the special one with the Tokheim cab. I think people's going to be disappointed, but that's alright. I won't do this to please other people. I do it for me. So, if I irritate people, that's going to happen. That's to be expected. And hopefully they'll appreciate the history and the uniqueness of this piece. To be honest, I think these cabs are kind of ugly. It's not something I would want on my tractor, except for the history side of it. And that's really cool. But, again, kind of an ugly piece. I like for what it is, I really do. I really like it for what it is. Looks so good, thank you very much. Appreciate that feedback. You can tell it's like garbage too, that's fine. Like, both sides have their own purpose. I like hearing that. It's good. It makes me feel good. It feels like I'm doing something right. Okay, I'm going to use my big blender here because I ain't used it all yet. I like the blender sometimes. Sometimes this big blender just does the trick, especially on tires. I got a dog hair stuck on it. Some people use horsehair brushes. I'm using dog hair by accident. Appreciate a few people that's out there to YouTube to watch me at night. That's awesome. Right there and you over there. That's where my future's at, I think. I can see my future on TikTok. It's a weird platform, not great for artists. It's great for show. I hope very soon, someday, to be exclusively to YouTube. We'll see. I'll definitely keep TikTok presence as long as TikTok's relevant, but I don't think all my original stuff's gonna be over there. It'll probably be just, some highlights and stuff. All right, got one thing. Crank shaft for the crank. Is that a shaft? Is that where the name crank shaft came from? I don't know. That's an interesting question. It is the shaft that the crank goes on, but is it crank shaft? That looks amazing. Cool. Thanks so much. All right. I'd say it looks amazing for what it is. That cab's goofy. Like I said, I like it for the history, but cab technology's came a long way since then. Thank goodness for it. It's cool to see where it started though with cab technology, right? Can't imagine farmers in the 30s and 40s look at these cabs for the first time and be like, I can't imagine they thought it was a good investment right off the bat. Think about it, this is before air conditioning. This is just, in the wintertime it'd be nice to have a heat house or whatever, but I don't know. It's unique. Definitely unique. Which is why I drew it. Appreciate y'all so much to watch us tonight. I'm going to put some shadows in here. I'm going to sign my name and we're going to be done with it. I'm going to take a more quick look over and see what else is left. If anything. Not really seeing anything. It is. This is where my YouTube stream live ends.